Yeah, I think another one that kind of is definitely shows a little bit more interest. So I guess from what we're talking about, I guess the two main things to change are really explaining the fact that it is like multiplayer.
Okay.
So maybe just like two, so maybe two players, and shape changer, that part's good. Shape vision, that's good, I think. Change shape, that's good. And then you get to the puzzles. Yeah, so I think maybe a puzzle that shows you blocking the other person, so that you can show that there is, there are some interesting affordances for competitive play.
I think I took out like the game world example though, because in like my beginning slides that I showed you, I had like examples of the overview of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't really need to talk about like that.
Okay. Yeah, and I think if you say there's a maze and there's a beginning and an end, I think people will sort of assume that. Although I had this vague recollection that I kind of liked this before. But yeah, I don't think it's your strongest point. I think the main thing is like showing that there's depth in the puzzle play and the interactions between players.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's sort of the key thing. I guess there was one other comment I had, which is like you're using a controller to move forward, right? So
because Kinect doesn't have like a nice.
Yeah, no, I know. So, but I guess the question is, okay, so I'm doing this, and I have my controller, right? So how does that work?
Well, I mean, you know what a controller looks like, and you have the feel of it.
Right.
I don't think you need to actually look at your controller when you're doing something.
Well, it's just that, like, I guess I could be holding it up. And have you tried this at all for any length of time? Or?
Not like really long, but like.
Okay, like how long am I going to have to hold this like this?
Not too long, and then like you only need to be those shapes to like do the specific puzzles. I mean, sure that happens a lot, but like if you don't need to be using some like shape or form, then you just be blob. Like, which is like a normal stance of holding a controller. You're just like, okay, hold it however you want and move around and look. And then, okay, now I need to be this triangle. Okay, let's do this. Now I need to be the ball. Okay.
Right.
Just a side note, if you're going to be having them hold the controller over their head, you might want to be all like, you should use a wrist strap or something.
Oh, so it doesn't fall on your head?
That could be a problem.
Maybe,
for
I don't know.
slippery fingers if you're moving it around real quick.
Oh, I see. Maybe. Sure. Sure, I suppose
I think,
there's a risk of throwing it backwards.
I was thinking something of like along the lines of the like Wii mode, like with the nunchuck. Does that have like a wrist strap, and it's kind of like it doesn't have to be like here.
Right.
The controller, you can kind of even separate.
Right. Would that work? I suppose that would work because that's on Bluetooth. The Kinect is USB. Yeah, I suppose it could work.
That does. Okay.
Yeah, I know PC only, but this game could be only. Okay. All right. Well, cool.
I do have a question
Yes.
on prototype. Like, how can I prototype this, or like, what's a good way to prototype it?
Yeah. Well, so to me, the key question is the two. Right? So one is kind of doing the technical prototyping to get the shape shifting with the Kinect down.
Right.
And so that would say you get yourself a Kinect, and there's a couple Kinects in the lab, and you get that working with pick your environment, and kind of get going with that. So that would be one